Good evening and welcome to Benedictine University in Lisle, Illinois for tonight's NWSL match between the Chicago Red Stars and the Washington Spirit. My name is Ben Solomon, and it is my pleasure to be with you on this, the second game of the season for the Chicago Red Stars. Tonight's match will serve as a home opener for the Red Stars at their normal home field here at Benedictine University. The temperature, it says 52 degrees there. I can assure you up here in the press box, that temperature has dropped precipitously as we head towards evening here in Chicago. Temperature's probably in the 40s, and the wind is gusty. It'll be moving from right to left on your computer screens for tonight's game. The Red Stars did open their season with a home game last Saturday, but that was played at Toyota Park as part of a doubleheader which featured the Chicago Fire of MLS. The Red Stars came away with a well-fought 1-0 victory in that season opener, defeating the defending regular season champions, the Western New York Flash. They'll look for a similar result tonight, maybe looking for something a little better against the Washington Spirit, who come into this game after a long road trip. The Red Stars game featured some bright new stars, including rookies Vanessa DiBernardo and Julie Johnston, who connected for the game's only goal. Here are the starting lineups for each team. Chicago Red Stars line up in a 4-3-3. You saw it briefly there. It will feature the same lineup that took the field against Western New York. Lots of changes for Washington Spirit, as you might expect. The Washington Spirit come into this game, interestingly enough, having played games that only end in 3-1 results. So it'll be interesting to see if that trend continues tonight. They opened the season with a home loss to Western New York, 3-1. That game left many questioning whether this year's version of the Spirit was going to remind us far too much of last year when they finished at the bottom of the table. Here's how the Red Stars are lining up, as you can see there on the graphic. Most recently, the Spirit traveled on short rest, as I mentioned, for a midweek tussle with Seattle this past Wednesday, losing 3-1. So it is more of the same for the Spirit, facing another quick turnaround on their pit stop here in Chicago on their way back to the East Coast. Let me bring in my partner for the broadcast this evening, who is currently the head women's soccer coach at DePaul University. As you can see the Washington Spirit lineup on the screen right now. Doing great work at DePaul University, Erin Chastain. Erin, it is a pleasure to be with you this evening on this brisk night for soccer.
Thanks a lot, Ben. I'm really excited to be here, and I'm looking forward to watching a great match.
It should be a great match tonight for Chicago, who will look to continue some of that early season momentum they started in earnest last weekend. So Chicago ready for the start here. Referee checks his watch, and we're underway here at Benedictine University. Chicago Red Stars moving left to right in those fantastic home kits. Washington Spirit in all red, moving right to left. You saw a multitude of changes for the Washington Spirit as they look to switch up the lineup a little bit fresh off that loss in Seattle. Early foul here, whistled against Chicago, and it'll be a free kick to Washington. So Aaron, as we set up for this game, what do you expect to see out of the Red Stars to help them continue some of that momentum they started last weekend?
Well, I think they're going to have to come out with a lot of energy. Obviously, they're the fresher team. Washington has played 3 games in a short week, so I think coming out with a nice energy to build on their success of last week would be extremely important for them.
And Washington Spirit coming in with still some questions to be answered. A great result against FC Kansas City earlier this year, but still some questions, especially on the defensive part of the field for them, as a great steal there by Vanessa DiBernardo gets things started for Chicago. She plays this outside to Adriana Leon. Full head of steam for her. Presley stepped in to win a hard challenge there, and then Huster gets it clear. What do you expect to see tonight from Washington, especially from a defensive end, as Johnson gives chase? In trouble there a little bit. A little miscommunication, and played out by LeBlanc. That's one away by Adams. Sitch chips it clear.
Well, I think already you can see that Washington is taking a little more aggressive approach than they did to their Seattle match, where they really kind of sat in. So it'll be interesting to see if that's their game plan for the entire evening.
Here's Lori Lindsay, gets the start tonight, chips it forward. Taken away by Julie Johnston, of course, the Super start from her, scoring the game's only goal in that 1-0 victory for Chicago. The rookie showing her worth as a top 5 draft pick early in this season for Chicago, taking up her spot at center back, and she played a phenomenal game last week.
She is such a fun player to watch. She played her college soccer at Santa Clara University and really it does a great job leading that back line and starting Chicago's attack from the back.
Rachel Kwan won that away for the Red Stars. Looks to start the counterattack. So as I mentioned, Chicago, it's the same lineup last week, but the one change we did notice in the way they were lining up as they come out was that Adriana Leon and Alyssa Motz have switched sides of the field.
Yeah, and it looks like Rory has done that. You know, Motz is really great defensively, and I think she'll really keep track of Allie Krieger out of the right back position for the Spirit. Obviously, Allie is a wonderful attacking right back, and I think Rory would probably like to eliminate her from having an impact from an attacking perspective on the game.
Here's Julian Sitch. She also had a great game for Chicago in that holding midfield role as DiBernardo is fouled. Looks like Washington still setting up in there really what operates as a 4-3-3 with Matheson and Adams playing the flanks today. Crystal Dunn not in the starting lineup for the Spirit today. Renee Cuellar headlines the striking force up top as operating as the center of the attacking three.
And she's a fun player. I think she'll really look to run behind our 2 center backs and, you know, really try to be dangerous from that perspective.
Lindsay knocks that back to Krieger. 1-2 with Averbush. That's kind of a softball there. Presley got to it ahead of Leon and then just clears it deep. It'll be interesting to see here how the Washington Spirit come out. As you said, it's a little more aggressive than maybe we were expecting in pregame. See if they were just going to sit in and try to absorb the Chicago attack or whether be aggressive. Looks like they've chosen the latter option so far.
And, you know, this is Chicago's 2nd game of the season, whereas this is Washington's 4th game of the season. So I think we saw in the last Chicago Red Stars match, it took them 10 or 15 minutes to get into a nice rhythm, and I think that's what we're seeing right now. So hopefully after some time passes, they'll be able to connect a couple more passes and get into a nice rhythm.
Both these teams tied at 3 points in the league standings right now. Chicago, of course, operating with some games in hand over the Spirit. Jen Hoy giving chase, and now Kolupny got a steal in, but it ends up at Huster's feet. Punches that forward over the head of Cuellar. Kwan got the header in, then Lindsay. Huster eludes the pressure from Hoy. Pushes forward well. Adams forced to turn back. Good steal by Kolupny. And now Jen Hoy's trying to split defenders and does. She has speed. Looks like she got held a little bit there. They play on. That's knocked into her and then finally cleared out by Huster, who was back to rescue. Good little effort there from Jen Hoy trying to split defenders. That's one thing Rory likes about her speed up top. He thinks she can be a real threat and score a lot of goals for Chicago this season if she learns to operate as that lone striker. Kwan with a throw-in on the far side. Bounced it a couple times off Adams, who just plays it out. Will be another Chicago throw.
Chicago is against a heavy wind right now, so I definitely think that's helped the Spirit in the initial phases of the game. It's going to be a little tougher for Chicago to get out of their end against that wind.
Would you combat that with a little having to play on the ground a little more, kind of cutting out a little bit of the long balls that Chicago might want to play?
Absolutely. I think the more they can connect to feet and build, the better.
That ball's in. Touchdown by Hoy. Found Motz. Motz avoided Presley. Just couldn't slip it through to the far side. But Chicago still retains possession. Adams having to check all the way back here. Lays it off for Huster, who punches it clear. Here's Johnston now. Sitch gives chase, wins it for Kwan. Kwan works the far side. Now find Motz. Early cross in for Motts, and Motts was offsides.
And Motts just needs to be a little bit more patient there, hold her run, and as the game develops, hopefully the timing will get better from some of the delivery of the passes and the runs behind.
So here's Ashlyn Harris to restart for Washington. Ashlyn very active in that last game against Seattle. Probably kept the scoreline from being a little worse than it ended up being. Seattle putting a lot of pressure on, and Harris making some tremendous acrobatic saves in that game. It's a good little back heel flick there by Adams into the path of Averbush in her defensive role. What we haven't mentioned so far is it does look like Christine Nairn was not able to make it back. One of Washington's most consistent players early in this season. Nairn replaced in the lineup by a player you know a lot about, and that's Anjali.
Yeah, Jordan is a great player. She played at Santa Clara. She's really battled back from some ACL injuries, and this is her first start of the year. It's really nice to see her out there. Look for her to really settle things down, win air balls, and hopefully knock some balls behind the back line of Chicago.
Anjali, of course, taking up that defensive holding midfielder role next to Averbush, as Winneno's ball goes out of play for a Spirit throw-in deep in their own half. New left back tonight for Washington is Bianca Sierra, taking the spot of Gale. That ball stayed in play and got caught up by the wind. DiBernardo tried to get a cross in, never made right contact, and will go out for a goal kick here for the Spirit in the 9th minute. Still 0-0 here in Lisle, Illinois.
I think it was a good move by Mark Parsons to make a lot of changes given the fatigue factor Washington might have. Get some fresh legs out there, some kids trying to earn starting spots and hopefully come out with a real nice energy, which they have done.
It is a very long season, lots of games, and on top of the normal grind of the NWSL season, of course, teams also have to think about call-ups and things of that nature that also play a role in making sure that you have a deep team, because you're going to need that if you want to get maximum points throughout the course of the season. Jackie Santa Catarina to Johnston. Johnston forward for Leon. In between two defenders, got it to Jen Hoy. Hoy slipped it through to Kolupny, just couldn't connect with Leon as they move forward. And that was Anjali back to take it away.
And even though that wasn't a successful attack for the Red Stars, you do see them starting to connect passes, look for their forwards' feet, and hopefully build from there.
Harris with the wind in her back. It's an ooh and an ah from the crowd as she bombs that forward. Winneno got in front of Matheson, and Leon is fouled over the back by Bianca Sierra.
I think this left back spot will be a great place for Chicago to attack. They replaced Gale with Bianca Sierra. I think they're trying to find their left back. And Gale wasn't great in their last game. We'll see what Sierra can do, but certainly we should see the Red Stars take advantage of maybe them not having a true left back.
Maybe a dual purpose behind the move by Rory Dames. Obviously, you want Motts' good defending against a great attacking fullback like Ali Krieger, but you also get the technical ability of Adriana Leon to kind of work against maybe a little less experienced outside back for the Spirit as Kolupny is taken down. And she stays down a little bit here, maybe a cause for concern early.
We would like to take a moment to thank all of our groups that are with us tonight. We can't have a team without you. Thank you to Chicago Edge SC.
Still working her way to her feet is Kolupny. Kolupny doled out her own share of punishment last week against the Flash. Was able to joke with her after the game. Usually on the end we just saw, and usually finding herself on the ground instead of doling out the punishment, but
Kolupny's such a great player. Love to watch her.
In addition to being the captain of the team, sorry, Aaron, in addition to being captain of the team, she really kind of sparks Chicago's ability to move forward in the attack from her midfield role. We can talk about that in just a minute here as Motts looks to work against Krieger. It's that matchup we discussed. Back to Kwan. Kwan looks for options, slides it back in. Johnston always over the top. So yeah, Kolupny just a tremendous, tremendous player. But her role in Chicago's midfield and kind of sparking the attack.
Yeah, she's just fun to watch, dynamic off the dribble, can run behind well, is a workhorse, really just a wonderful player.
Winino got to that first. Anjali got a touch to it, and then Winino tried to play it back in the path of Lyon, but it runs away from her on this artificial surface here at Benedictine University. It is a nice field turf, but artificial nonetheless. Presley gets that clear. Cuellar gives chase, but LeBlanc has time to play it in the path of Kwan. LeBlanc just had to play that out of play as the Spirit got up the field pretty well there to force the errant pass. Quick restart here. Cuellar couldn't find Matheson. We'll look for Matheson, the key player, key goal scorer for the Spirit. That's a good step in there by Sierra in front of Lyon. Will be a Red Stars throw, though.
Matheson's a really dangerous player. I think she runs behind really well. I think she's a player Rory is absolutely concerned about in terms of just her ability to maybe make some things happen for Washington from an attacking end.
Here she is. Good ball into Adams. Couldn't control it, though, and Sitch got it to Motts. Kolupny couldn't get past Averbush. Averbush again. That one's cut away by Lyon, who couldn't keep possession. And Averbush has a second chance at it. Winino to the feet of Lyon. Good slip through there. Great job by Lyon to DiBernardo. Now the three balls through Hoy. She has Motts on the back post. Winino looks to find her. It hangs up in the breeze over the head of Motts. Back the other direction now. Sitch is there to win it for Chicago. Motts just couldn't connect with Kolupny, but Kolupny won it back. But in the end, it was Ali Krieger who got the best of that exchange. Washington just looking for the quick counterattack now to Cuellar, who couldn't control it.
Are you getting thirsty? Be sure to stop by the Beer Garden located at the north end of the stadium to grab a craft beer.
Good play there by Huster to turn away Hoy. Lori Lindsay fights through a couple of players there and now sends it wide, and Winino a good challenge. Otherwise, Matheson would have been in behind. DiBernardo having to drop back a little bit to get some touches here. Hoy got Presley run through her back and will solicit a call from the head referee. Red Stars will have a free kick just inside their opponent's half here as we've played a quarter of an hour in Lisle, Illinois. Still no score between the Chicago Red Stars and Washington Spirit. Ben Solomon along with Aaron Chastain up here in the booth with you. Glad you're joining us on what is a chilly evening here. Johnston, low driving ball. Kolupny able to get that to Kwan. Kwan at the edge of the area. Chips it forward. Presley got the header. And now played in the path of Matheson. And it'll be a Washington Spirit throw here on the near side. So, Aaron, we're seeing the Red Stars get some attack going, especially on the far side so far. Getting Kwan in a forward area, but not getting a lot of crosses into the box.
Yeah, and I think the service that they have gotten maybe a little high, maybe hard service to get on the end of. So I like that they're building out of the wide areas, but hopefully the quality of service will improve as the game goes on.
Here is Kwan again, who has been active. Motts against Krieger. Adams helping Krieger. Still be a Chicago throw. Kolupny. Kwan off Adams. Here is Laurie again. Good ball wide for Winino, who has a lot of space to operate here on the near side. Matheson gives chase. Winino sizes her up, goes inside. DiBernardo tried an overlap to Adriana Leon, who was making that run. Good touch by DiBernardo into the path of Johnston, going forward again. Wide. Adriana Leon now. Cuts inside. Sends one in. Easily dealt with by Presley. And no Red Star was occupying the middle of the field, which gives Cuellar a chance to turn a counter. Cuellar again moves across midfield. Surrounded by blue and white shirts, but it will be a Washington Spirit throw.
And on that last attack, Julie Johnston just does such a great job of entering the attacking third and really providing a great weapon coming out of the back for the Red Stars. So look for her to continue to do that and be dangerous.
Trying to work it in the corner, but losing it is Cuellar. Turns it over there. Deep throw for Chicago.
Hey fans, what do you think about those new jerseys you're seeing on the field tonight? Order your very own 2014 Chicago Red Stars jersey and own a piece of Chicago sports history today. Stop by the merchandise table or visit ChicagoRedStars.com.
Santa Catarina punches that clear. Averbush. Huge physical presence in the midfield for the Spirit. Leon couldn't control that as well as she wanted. And it's back to LeBlanc. LeBlanc didn't have a lot to do in that first game against the Flash. Made a couple of saves. And what was a good performance for this young back line of Chicago, showing up well, keeping a clean sheet. Matheson fouled there by Winino.
And this back line not only kept a clean sheet, but I think there were only 2 shots on goal. So I think they really did a great job of shutting down any dangerous attacks from Western New York.
They were really able to frustrate Carly Lloyd as well, who's such a key cog of that Western New York attack, especially in the absence of Abby Wambach, as this ball's played in. LeBlanc came to claim it, couldn't get there though. It was Julia Johnson who got the header. Krieger came up forward, but I believe it was Motz who slid in there to take it away, and now it is a Red Star who is a little injured there. It might be Johnston. She's all right, though. We play on. Cuellar. Johnston headed it clear. Only as far as Adams. Adams able to turn, but it was really no threat for LeBlanc, and they are going to whistle a corner on that. That seemed odd because LeBlanc caught it and then moved it towards the playing field. So it either was out before she touched it, or it's an interesting call. I don't know about that. As it stands, it will be a Spirit corner kick. Spirit have struggled to defend these, but we'll see how they operate in the attacking third. We'll see if Adams can at least get the ball to stay on the spot. As you can see the flag whipping behind her. Yeah, it is rolling over there.
The Spirit have some good targets in here.
Let's see if they can find one. They didn't. They found Johnston instead. Tries to muscle it clear, but it goes right back to Adams. Adams another chance. Drives it in low. But it was always right to LeBlanc, who catches that easily. And it looks like it might have been Lori Lindsay who has pulled up a little bit. Oh, no, it looks like Huster, actually, who was forward for the corner, who kind of pulled up a little bit there. Here's Kolupny. DiBernardo now. Looks forward, looking for Motz, but Krieger was there. That'll roll out of play for a Rachel Kwan throw. 20 minutes gone by. Red Stars and the Spirit still knotted. 0-0. Jen Hoy has gotten past Huster now, and this is where she can use her speed. Hoy, the only option is Leon making a back post run. Hoy forced to turn back. Kolupny tried to slide it back through and got a handball there. And let's see. It's going to be right outside the 18. In a dangerous area here for Chicago to make something out of it.
This will be a great chance for the Red Stars. Johnston, Santa Catarina, Winino, they've got some really great targets. Their last goal in their first game was scored off a set piece, so it'll be interesting to see if they can get on the end of this.
So there is a conference ongoing between 3 Red Stars to see who's going to take this. Kolupny, DiBernardo, and Adriana Leon are all talking about it. My guess it might be DiBernardo, who tallied the assist last week. The targets you mentioned are all in the box now. Let's see. DiBernardo just trying to get the ball to stay in one spot for her. Leon runs over it. DiBernardo takes it, drives it in the 6. And it was Huster who got the touch to keep it from the back line.
Ladies and gentlemen, this Red Stars corner kick is brought to you by the Illinois Women's Soccer
So let's see how the Washington Spirit defend these after having some struggles the last few weeks. Red Stars, of course, their only goal of the year coming off a corner kick. DiBernardo to Johnston. Johnston, who sits 8 yards away from net on the back post right now, will be looking to get her head on the end of this. DiBernardo puts 2 hands in the air, sends a floater towards Johnston. Got the first header on, really went nowhere, and now it's cleared. Here's Quan. 1-0. One down there. Motts just couldn't control it. And now a chance maybe to counter here. Angeli wide. Adams just couldn't connect there, and the Red Stars get it back. Johnston. Kolupny. And that one got caught up in the wind. Saved by Leon, though. Great effort from her. And Matheson knocked that out of play, and it will be a Red Stars throw.
So tough with this wind, whether it's in the run of play or on set pieces. You can tell the players from both teams are struggling finding the right pace of their ball.
Yeah, I think if you don't have those crosses with a good low driving trajectory on them, you're just not going to – they're going to get caught up in the wind and make it difficult to get anyone on the end of it.
And you saw DiBernardo try to keep her service low on their set piece outside the box, which I really liked, and they earned a corner because of it. So hopefully we'll see some of their service like that going forward.
Good job by Sitz checking back there. DiBernardo eludes. Good touch inside there. Springs DiBernardo, but the pass was just deflected. Here's Matheson, who's come inside. Lindsay back for Averbush and tried to go wide, but Winino stepped in front. Good play by her. Now she makes the overlapping run. Kolupny goes wide for Motts, who looked like she might have been just a hair offsides, and indeed she was.
And that's another offsides by Motts. I'd really like to see her have some better timing there, because what a wonderful opportunity for the Red Stars to get behind, and what a wonderful service by Lori Kolupny. So hopefully that timing will get better.
Yeah, that was just a tremendous service there by Kolupny. Put Motts. Motts had space. She was in behind the Ali Krieger over there, and it looked like there was enough of a discontinuity, if you will, on that back line of the Spirit that could have let Motts get in there without much trouble. Just sprang her run a little early. Adams got up to win that one, and Lori Lindsay gives chase and gets there. Lindsay, turn back. Inside, missed Averbush, and instead it's Presley. Presley just bombs this forward in the wind, well wide of LeBlanc. So it will be a goal kick here.
Self-built safe places for children to play, teach them how to live healthy lifestyles, and provide mentors that are invested in the successful development.
It's nice to see the Red Stars control the run of play. I think Washington's really trying to attack on a counter, and the Red Stars have done a good job of keeping possession, and now it's about that final pass or that final moment once they enter the attacking third, and can that be a little bit better?
Totally agree with that. I think they're definitely looking for the counter. Washington also doing a pretty admirable job. Mark Parsons getting them to push up very quickly when Chicago is playing around with it on their back line. It's forced more than a few mistakes so far. None that have really hurt Chicago, but something to keep an eye on for later. Guan to Motts. Motts kept that in. Kolupny ran in front of Huster, and Huster draws the foul there on Kolupny. Kolupny with a wry smile as she turns away from the head referee there. I don't know about that. Not a lot of contact there. I'm sure as a head coach you never really get on the referees. So
Never.
Never. This ball is played behind Leon, but she gets in front of her now. Matheson's marking her. Here's Sitch. Alyssa Mott's finding more and more space here as Krieger has switched with Huster now. Krieger back into a center back role. She gives chase to this. Gets there in front of Quan and actually banks it off Quan. Good job there by Allie Krieger, but that's a little bit of a change there. Maybe that was just that one play, but we'll look for that as Krieger, such an important part of this Spirit team. And that is going to be a foul as Julian Sitch hit the deck.
And you'll see that the ball's really staying on Allie Krieger's side. The wind is blowing not only in the direction the Spirit's attacking, but also on Allie Krieger's side of the field. So I think I'd like to see the Red Stars try to bring the ball over to the other side, and we'll definitely be able to see that in the second half a little bit more.
You see the replay of the foul there. Clear foul. Sets up the Red Stars for this free kick about 40 yards from goal. 29th minute here in Chicago. It's a good effort there, but better defensive play by the Spirit, who again look to counter.
And I like the idea of taking a short set piece, even though they didn't execute it that well. It's really windy. Keep possession and then try to get a little closer to the goal to be more dangerous.
Safety valve. Presley goes wide. Here's Sierra. Averbush. Matheson. Winino clipped that out of play. Good pressure there from Leon. Tried to win it, and she did. For Chicago now, who will get a throw here. Good hold-up play from Hoy. Just couldn't find anybody as Leon's was a little late coming from her midfield post. Presley back to Ashlyn Harris. Red Stars probably owning most of the run of play, but really not getting anything dangerous in front of Harris so far. Hasn't had much to do. And that was a pick set there by Sierra to give Presley some time. Went unnoticed. Matheson, good slide in there, and DiBernardo took her down.
Washington's definitely scrapping. They're pretty physical, and I think they've done a good job of imposing themselves from a physical standpoint on the game.
Which is interesting to see. It's a team that in some corners, their effort has been questioned at times, and their losses, they have definitely shown up with a lot of fight today against the Red Stars. Red Stars themselves, typically a very hard-working, physical, scrappy team.
And I'm really not surprised that it's 0-0. You know, Washington played a really good Seattle team, and it took a couple set pieces for them to get on the scoreboard. Seattle wasn't having a ton of success breaking down Washington in the run of play, so I'm not surprised that it's 0-0 at this point.
That's a giveaway there by Huster into the feet of Kolupny, who just couldn't find Leon, but Hoy was running onto it and almost picked the pocket there and gave the Red Stars a chance. Huster. It's a good ball to Lori Lindsay. Adams. Krieger. Back to Presley. Spirit content to build slowly here. Almost gave it away. Good turn by Cuellar. A strong challenge there for the Red Stars, and that may have spurred a counterattack. Leon has Hoy to the near side. Here plays Hoy in. Hoy in the danger area. Winds up a chance. Knocked around in front and then finally clear. Maybe the best chance for Chicago, but the final pass just eluded them.
What a great chance. Great pass by Leon to Hoy, and I actually think she did okay with it. She's trying to shoot at the far post, and their defender got down and did a pretty good job of getting a piece of the ball.
Yeah, it looked like it was Krieger that was in there to get the saving challenge. Just in front of the back post run made by Motts. Lori Kolupny causing Huster problems here. Here is Motts again. Tucked it in for Leon. Leon couldn't work it past a couple of Spirit defenders. Santa Catarina is chased by Cuellar and then bowled over by Cuellar and will draw the foul for Chicago. 33rd minute, still no score. In a game that has really been bereft of really any serious chances from either side. Red Stars probably looking the more dangerous of the two so far. Winino inside. Good combination play there. Hoy thought she was held a little bit. Johnston. Wide for Winino. Winino tries to play this in over the head of Kolupny. Dealt with by Huster. Only as far as DiBernardo. Here's DiBernardo again. Averbush is giving chase, and DiBernardo is able to win another corner kick for Chicago. Let's see if they can do something with this here as Vanessa DiBernardo steps over to take.
And you will notice a good change here for Washington. They haven't been putting anyone on the back post for corners, and it looks like they have someone, and they took a couple goals off corner kicks, so I think that's a good adjustment for them.
Here's DiBernardo. It floats one into the 6, and it was Ashlyn Harris. Never afraid to be aggressive. Didn't need to be too aggressive with that. Claimed it confidently, though, in the midst of traffic. Smart header back by Sitch. LeBlanc tries to settle the Red Stars as they reform after the corner kick. Motts couldn't control that over the far side. And Lindsay couldn't control the throw-in as the Spirit tried to restart quickly. Cuellar, good fight. Lindsay inside. Anjali. It's end up at the back to Averbush. Here's Lindsay now. Turns left-footed drive. Was always at LeBlanc. Good bit of possession there by the Spirit in the attacking third.
Yeah, I think that's the most they've combined thus far, and I think that was a good job of linking up some passes and getting a shot on goal.
Kolupny goes wide for Motts again. Kwan. Past Huster again, and now Jen Hoy is in again. What can she do with it this time? Huster got back and wins at least some time for her defenders to get back. It will be a Chicago corner kick. 35th minute. You can hear the music getting piped in now. We were told by Arnhem Whistler, the owner of the Chicago Red Stars, that we will be singing 2 full verses of When You Wish Upon a Star in honor of the Chicago Red Stars. We, of course, in the booth will spare you that as this ball is flicked in and Harris claims it again in traffic. Good play from Harris again.
I like that near post driven ball, though. I think that's a good service, especially with the wind.
They did get a near post flick there. Just couldn't get it past Harris to anyone running on to make it dangerous. Here's Julie Johnston, who really hasn't been able to get forward too much out of her center back spot yet. That's a good ball played by Hoy. Here's Leon. Leon just still cannot get any control on it as she continues to make her push forward. Good step by Johnston, though. Motts couldn't touch in the path of Leon. Forward. DiBernardo tried to win that, and it will be ruled that it is a Spirit throw-in. Bianca Sierra. In for Anjali. That's blocked by DiBernardo. Another Spirit throw. Sierra plays this forward. LeBlanc waited for a moment and then came up to get it.
Want to know how you can get all the latest info on everything CRS? Sign up for the Red Stars team newsletter today. Visit info10.com.
Johnston goes wide for Winino, who couldn't get there. Just didn't read that earlier, and Johnston and Winino now discuss that errant pass. Good steal here by DiBernardo. She's been more active recently. Hoy muscled it away, did Presley.
And Jen Hoy is so fast, but I would love to see her just be a little tougher there, hold possession for her team.
Referee stops play here as it looks like it might be Matheson who is down. She'll get slowly to her feet after colliding with a Red Star. No foul, though. We'll look at this replay here where it happened. Yeah, Matheson and Winino just colliding. Any type of contact with someone else is going to sting a little bit in these conditions. Sierra back to LeBlanc. We hope you stick around with us. During halftime, we'll have a short, I'm told, 10-minute segment with Karina LeBlanc, See what she's been up to, a fun little video. So we hope you stick around with us during halftime.
I'm sure it'll be a very entertaining video. She's got a big personality and is very entertaining.
Nothing is ever dull when it comes to Karina LeBlanc. That is for sure. And she is an important part of this Red Stars team. Kolupny stayed on her feet. Looked like she got fouled, and it was a short advantage there, and the referee did come back to make the correct call. So the Red Stars with another free kick. Kolupny is fouled. LeBlanc, as I was mentioning, such a critical part of that back line for Chicago. Young back line, but her veteran leadership coming off a championship season last year with Portland. Been a great veteran leader for Chicago.
Yeah, between Karina and their two center backs, I think they've got tremendous leadership back there.
40th minute, and DiBernardo sizes this one up from 40 yards from net. Pops it in there, another high hanger. Falls without anyone touching it, and then finally Adams clips it clear, but it will be a Red Stars throw-in on the far side. That throw-in is into Hoy. Now back to Kwan. Wide for Motts. Kwan tried the overlap. Motts held on to it. Looked wide for Leon. That was easily dealt with by a Bianca Sierra, but not totally clear now. Kolupny slicing through and just missed Kwan, who might have been in behind. I'll go out for a goal kick for Ashlyn Harris here in the 41st minute.
What about having your favorite Red Stars player record your voicemail? Join the 5-Star Club and receive unique team perks. Visit ChicagoRedStars.com to join the club today.
Haverbush wins that. Pops it a mile up in the air. Came down on Motts' head, and Krieger watches that go out of play. Santa Catarina won that. Back to Johnston. Now Julian Sitch has had another but quiet game so far. Nice but quiet for Sitch. What you probably want out of your holding midfielder?
Yeah, absolutely. I think she's actually done a really good job of linking up, connecting her passes, showing at good angles, and disrupting the play for the Spirit, just breaking up play. So I think she's been good so far.
Adams kind of created space for herself, but couldn't find a useful cross. We'll go out for a Red Stars goal kick here. So we slowly approach halftime. Red Stars still trying to look for that elusive first goal. Couldn't find it in the first half of last week either, despite controlling most of that play. Heading into this season, head coach Rory Dames was very excited about his team's ability to create in the attacking third. Even when a team decided to sit in, especially with the technical players the Red Stars have up top and the speed they possess as well. And that speed's trying to be put on display here as Hoy gives chase. Sitch poked it wide to Winino. Leon. Stopped by Bianca Sierra. Matheson couldn't continue forward with it, and then Sitch knocked it out of play for a Spirit throw in here at midfield. Johnston giving chase, getting instructions from LeBlanc, just chooses to let that run, and that was probably the best option, and it will result in a Chicago goal kick here. Presley's a player that I've noticed maybe not comfortable enough at her center back role. Sometimes doesn't want to hold the ball, just wants to kind of bang it forward, create situations where the Spirit have an opportunity to hold the ball a little bit more than they probably are able to.
Yeah, definitely. I think their back line is giving the ball away a little too much, and what I like about the Chicago back line is Jackie and Julie are both really comfortable on the ball, really comfortable slowing down the pace of the game and connecting and finding feet, and I think that's really helping Chicago when they do that.
LeBlanc has trouble punting that through the stiff breeze. Johnston is able to keep it, though, and Leon hits the deck in front of Sierra. It's a good read there by DiBernardo. And now Red Stars maybe have something on here. Leon kept possession well. Kolupny. Red Stars turn back again. Kolupny. Surrounded by Spirit defenders and is taken down for a free kick. Just before halftime, we're approaching the last minute of the first half here, and the Red Stars another opportunity to find that first half goal.
I would love to see the Red Stars play around with something short here. They haven't had a lot of success from long range against the wind, so maybe a short option would be a good option for them.
And where this wall is sitting up, it looks like the Red Stars would have a good little alley here on the near side to play a ball into space, maybe for Kolupny if she runs off this group that's gathering. Let's see what they elect to do. Leon makes that run into space, and DiBernardo drives this one across. It was searching for the head of Jackie Santa Catarina, but it was about 2 yards too heavy for her, and will go out of play. So 45 minutes in the bank here. Only 1 minute of stoppage time, so last attacks here is Sitch was undercut there by Adams. Another foul for Adams, who was wondering what she did wrong. Johnson to restart this for Chicago. Here's Motts. Kwan. Hoy. Inside for Motts. Good overlap there for Hoy. Now options here. Sent that one across. Back post for Leon! Oh, it's just wide! Harris was full stretch, and she might have done enough to keep this level, 0-0.
What a great attempt. That was a great left-footed shot. Great service from Kwan on the ground, especially given the wind. Really great build-up.
Leon just looking for that side netting, and we couldn't get the full replay there, but it looked like it clipped something. I couldn't tell if it clipped the outside of the post or if Ashlyn Harris, sprawling to her right, was able to get something on that. So that will be it. First half bubbling up with action there towards the end, but the score remains 0-0 at halftime here at Benedictine University between the Chicago Red Stars and the Washington Spirit. As I mentioned earlier, we hope you stick around and join us for a short video featuring Karina LeBlanc. See what antics she is up to at halftime. We'll be back with you in the second half.
With 2 kids playing on 4 different teams, Jane struggles to stay organized, especially when it comes to getting everyone to the right place at the right time. And with the inevitable last-minute changes, things get even more frustrating. Thankfully, each team uses TeamSnap, making Jane's life a breeze. After downloading the app and activating her account online, schedules are automatically synced to all of Jane's calendars. She gets team notifications on the go by email and text, maps and directions are a single tap away. And she can even view team contact information so she can organize carpools with nearby families. Get started with your free account today and join millions of parents like Jane who already use TeamSnap to keep their kids on the field and their sanity intact.
Proud presenting partner of the 2014 Chicago Red Stars, CJ Wilson Mazda has all-star service and breakaway selection with all new models, like the 2014 Mazda 6, starting only $19,999. Discounts off MSRP include all customer incentives, plus tax, title, license, and dock fees. Financing varies for qualified buyers. Offer ends April 30th, 2014. Test drive a Mazda today at CJ Wilson Mazda, located at the corner of LaGrange Road and Joliet Road in Countryside. Visit ZoomZoomNation.com for the largest selection of new and pre-owned Mazdas in Chicagoland. What do you drive?
What up, what up? So today I'm getting my hair done, or did, at the Sweet Spot on Wabash. We got Z coming. We got Lori, who needs an introduction right here. Lori, what are you looking forward to seeing today?
I'm just interested in this process.
Alexis?
Yes, that's me.
That's her. She's gonna do the top
Yeah.
and the side.
Nice.
D's gonna do the side, and that's about it. So, KK cam roll, and this is the process.
Like, could it cut through the skull?
So you can adjust these blades, right? So if you line them right on top of each other and the blades move really close, then you can cut somebody. But you can adjust them and back them up, and you won't cut
You're
it.
not scared? No.
No. Nice little chunk of skin off the front. Yeah, all right.
That only happened once. But the guy was fine.
It wasn't even that big a deal.
Lori, are you scared for me right now, Lori?
I'm a little bit scared. Just those clipper things
The clipper thing.
they're like getting a really close shave on her head there.
I'll wait till she pulls out the straight razor.
Yeah.
The blade. It gets better.
Okay.
Do you think like a big flap of my skin's gonna come up with the hair?
No, I mean, I'd just be a little bit
rather
scared if I were you.
But think about it, it's like a razor.
Exactly.
Yeah, like same like
I'm
you
shaped
shave your
like a
legs with.
razor.
Like
So when you shave your legs, do you lose chunks of your skin?
on
It depends
occasion.
on the day. You know, it really does. It depends on the day.
But I remember when I was really, really young, I didn't have leg hair yet, so I shaved my eyebrows. I shaved one, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get in trouble. For some reason, I shaved the other one,
Because nobody would notice then.
Yeah.
and then I started crying.
My friend
And then you cried after the second.
Yeah. I think my
Your
parents,
eyebrows
I didn't even get in trouble. They're like, I think you just learned your lesson. I have no eyebrows.
Well, so on a scale of 1 to 10, how terrible would it be if it rained on Saturday?
The sides
Like,
will be okay. What
Would
Z
you
does,
have to wrap up your head? Or would it just be alright to get rained on?
okay. So what D's doing will be fine. But what Alexis is doing will go.
Okay.
It'll be all that work for nothing.
That would be terrible.
But after I would wrap my hair up.
Right.
Right.
Right. Because otherwise it would get really
Right.
fuzzy.
So she, in some ways, yeah, fuzzy and yeah, curly.
Right.
See? She, in some ways, is wrapping her hair right now.
Yeah. Got my edges sealed and covered.
See, she uses a cute little wrap here. The other day you had pre-wrap around your head.
You have
pre-wrap? I didn't have a wrap on me. I didn't expect the rain, so I wrapped my head with pre-wrap.
No. Trivia questions now, since I always give the trivia questions.
Yeah.
What's a sew-in?
With your hair? Okay. A sew-in would be... Does it include a needle and thread?
Yes.
Okay.
Ding, 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 ding.
But
Warm it up.
Can't picture
that's
this
actually
at
very
all.
good.
Okay, needle and thread, and we just like sew in some hair, and then it stays there.
Yeah.
That's good. That's really good. My natural hair, so like let's say my natural hair, it's braided.
Into a circle, right?
Yeah, into a circle, so it's all braided.
Okay.
And then when you have your extensions, it's on a weft. You
And
take the
then they
needle and thread and sew
into
it
your hair that's in a braid on your head.
onto the braids.
Wait, she's touching. She's coming in.
Okay, I can feel it.
You can feel the braids.
Yeah,
well.
right? Is that it?
There's a braid right here. You can feel it.
Yeah. Huh.
Next question. What's a perm?
Well, a perm would put waves in your hair.
Yeah. It makes
not
sense.
completely wrong.
No,
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
I mean, like in the 80s,
Yeah.
people used to get perms all the time.
Yeah, American Hustle.
Right.
Right. Alexis, you can ask Lori some questions.
Pretty much 2 for 2 here. Guys, come on.
What is
Be my
hot
life
comb?
My life.
Oh, good one.
A hot comb? Well, I was gonna say I use a hot iron, flat iron, or maybe a hot comb would do something similar, maybe straighten.
Man, that's a way to kill it.
Yeah,
you're
she's
good.
like putting some logic.
I Googled all this before.
But the perm, we don't really. A perm is not. You gotta explain to
Not
who.
to-
When a black person says she's getting a perm,
Right, it's straightening our hair, not
Oh.
making it curly.
Well, that would be the opposite of what
It's
I
called a
said.
relaxer, actually. So when you
Oh,
relax
well,
the hair,
okay.
that makes sense.
I know
It
what a
makes it
relaxer is.
straight.
Okay.
So-
we have relaxers. I mean, with
Yeah.
perm, but that would be 2 separate things.
Yeah,
For you, it's the same thing.
they are.
So make sure you don't move at all. Be very still. There's a blade right by your head.
I've been doing this for a couple of days, so I'm feeling pretty confident.
A couple days.
Yeah, I'm pretty good throughout the whole process.
It looks really good.
Thanks.
It's just like very like it's going
Sharp.
all the way down to the skull there. All the way down to
the skull or
the
the skin.
skin. What's the skin around your skull?
Scalp?
Scalp. No.
Yeah.
Scalp. Okay. It's all the
Lori's
way
a
down
little
to your
stressed.
scalp.
It's cute. My teammate cares about me, guys. She's.
That's sweet. That is
You're
sweet.
fine. Don't be
Don't
scared.
forget.
Don't be scared.
Well, I'm not scared.
Okay. Just don't move. Just be very
I
still.
like how she's telling you not to be scared.
It's okay. You're dead.
Don't move. Goodness gracious.
Someone said the maple leaf.
Oh, snaps.
Oh my God! What if we did half
That's not a bad
Chicago,
idea.
half Chicago, half Canada?
That's a good idea, actually. And it's big enough that I could conceive it.
I'm number 17. If you wanna.
Lori, toot toot.
That was a good one.
You can put 5 in there as well. Are you saying 5? Yeah. So you can, you know.
Someone said the chai skyline.
The shy skyline.
The chai.
The chai.
The chai tea sky.
Guys,
Wait, what?
the chai?
Is this something new?
Shy.
Whatever.
It's the shy. Don't ever say that again out loud.
You look like Ace Ventura right now. Just get like this to kind of
Do it.
Curl out.
curl. Get a little Ace Ventura going.
All right. We still got to add some color on here, but look how it is. Yeah, you guys like it?
Love it.
Okay, what was the best part of the process for you being in your first black hair salon and seeing this happen? Take us through the emotion.
The clippers. The clippers were the best part. Like, slightly terrifying for me. KK was not scared at all.
No.
I was scared.
This was her face.
And then the razor blade came out on your skull, which was a little bit scary as well.
On my skull.
But look at it now. Yeah. So it looks good.
Beautiful. All right, and Z.
Yes.
Being here with Lori, it has to have been a different experience. Talk us through. She actually knew what she was talking about.
Yeah, actually, Troop had some of the answers more correct than actually I knew. She knew a perm it makes your hair curly, but a relaxer. The proper term to use is when it makes your hair straight. So she did a very good job.
All right, let's bring in the professionals here. D. Boozer. So you guys worked on the texture of the hair. Tell us the key points to getting these stars in my hair.
I think patience a lot because they're pretty little. So I had to just be very, detailed and take a lot of time to not do too much work.
That's a unique move you're doing there.
That's pretty.
We're gonna call that the Karina.
And you did the top?
Huh?
You did the top?
Did the top. Just put a lot of texture in it because you like to wear it kind of, crazy, but still took some weight out the end so that it can lay down and look formal, when you need it to. So
love her lipstick. Yeah. You guys would think we're family here. We've known each other for so long. This is actually my second time in the salon, so just easing my way in. From the sweet spot here in Wabash.
Yes, Wabash.
Wabash in Wabash, Chicago, right off State Street, and the Bean is over there. See, I know my city.
It's true.
Yes.
Yeah, it's true.
I know what I'm talking about. Yeah. What? All right, signing out.
There are 2 ways to manage a team. Coach Derek uses a clipboard.
Welcome back to Benedictine University here in Lisle, Illinois, where your halftime score is 0-0 between the Chicago Red Stars and Washington Spirit. You're taking a look at the first half highlights, which were really typified by a lot of physical play out there. You see here a chance by LeBlanc on a clearance, excuse me. Washington started off pretty aggressive, but then later on, Chicago was able to get a little bit more control of the game, even though they were going into the wind and able to generate some chances, Aaron.
Yeah, and I think they'll continue to get some great opportunities off set pieces with the wind in the second half, because Washington's Spirit back line is really fouling our forwards in the back quite a bit, and they're having trouble dealing with Lori Kolupny dribbling. So I think we'll see some great chances off of set pieces in the second half.
Yeah, Red Stars got a lot of set pieces in that first half. So it'll be interesting to see if they can continue that and get a lot of good chances. Here's Kolupny dribbling there, causing problems for the defenders, running at defenders. More set pieces for Chicago. And it probably all led up to what was the best chance of the half here towards the end of the half, as Kwan played that in. And a great strike by Leon. It just couldn't tuck itself in on that far post.
She did a great job with that, though, because she had to kind of come back for the ball, and she hit it with her left. And I thought she did a great job of trying to get that ball on frame and be dangerous.
And I think I said it was Hoy who crossed that ball in and during the run of play, but it looked like it was Kwan, with Hoy making that run in, and Leon just a little behind her. Tried to tuck it in, just couldn't quite do it. So, Aaron, what do you think in terms of Chicago's strategy going forward here in the second half? They started to get a little more pressure, as I was saying, but do you think we'll see any changes from Rory Dame's side?
I think at some point he'll make a change up in the front line. Maybe we'll see Bywaters enter the game. I would say I think the forwards for Chicago need to do a better job of keeping possession of the ball in the middle third, being a little bit tougher and dealing with the physical play of Washington, so that our whole team can get forward and attack as a unit.
And how would you grade out Washington's defensive effort, and especially their holding midfielders? Missing Christine Aaron coming into this game, a big piece of their puzzle. How would you rate their play so far in this one?
Well, it's 0-0, so I think they've stepped up. I think Washington's had a tough go. They lost Weimer to an ACL and now Nairn, and those are 2 very impactful players. So I think their whole team has stepped up and said, hey, we're here to battle, and it should be a good second half.
Yeah, I think based on even watching the previous games that Washington has played, they maybe have gotten a little unfairly critiqued based on prior year's performances. They've hit a string of bad luck with some injuries to key players for them, and their head coach Mark Parsons is still looking for that lineup that's going to work. They faced a very difficult schedule so far, and it's going to be finding those right pieces over the course of the season. It's a long season still, and I think they're going to find themselves. I think the pieces are there for them.
And honestly, it's a new year, and we've seen a team in Seattle that's at the top of the table right now, and certainly they didn't have that kind of success last year.
And we're underway here in the second half at Benedictine University. Still 0-0. Red Stars working with the wind in this half. We had a chance to step outside during halftime, and it was bad, just to say the least. It is cold out there. The wind is whipping. Not perfect conditions for soccer in late April, but that's what you get in Chicago. Good moving there, and it looks like there has been a sub. I think I see Crystal Dunn there with some footwork on the near side here for the Spirit. And I'm looking, and I think I see that Lori Lindsay has given way there as Cuellar almost tried to get a steal in. So it looks like Lori Lindsay has given way. Matheson tucking in to a center attacking midfield role, the 10 spot for the Spirit, and now it is Crystal Dunn adding pace and speed and technical ability on the right flank for Washington.
And Crystal Dunn is incredibly dangerous. She's got wonderful pace, and I think she'll be someone we have to pay a lot of attention to.
So a formidable attacking lineup for Washington to begin this second half. Moving Matheson inside I kind of like as well. Not a ton of physical players necessarily in Chicago's midfield. that may give Matheson some room to operate and create some difficulties. She's marking Sitch there, and Santa Catarina got it away between two defenders. Now the Red Stars under a little pressure here. Matheson, done. Taken away, though, by Motts. Good back check by her. Relieves the pressure. I do not see any changes for Chicago. They made a halftime change last week, which was the same change you suggested, Aaron, bringing on Zakiya Bywaters at halftime last week. No such change this week. Status quo for Chicago.
And Chicago ended the half with a great opportunity. So it makes sense, hey, let's go with the same 11 to start the half, see if they can get something right off the bat.
DiBernardo hounded there and gave it away. Presley on the back line. Ford tried to clip it wide for Adams. Just couldn't connect with Sierra. It's out of play. It looks like there might have been another sub as well. Noticing that Perez has checked into the game. So Veronica Perez, I think, has come in for Anjali, who I think has yielded her holding midfield role. So 2 subs for the Spirit. Here is Crystal Dunn with that pace. Dunn tried to blast, and it goes right off of Johnston, who hit the deck. Good ball there. In for Adams. Adams taken down by a couple of defenders, and she will draw the free kick for the Spirit here. They've come out looking aggressive in the first few minutes of the second half.
And you can see Crystal Dunn. She is scary fast with the ball, and I think that's one of her best qualities, and saw a glimpse of what she's going to try to do in the second half.
So very aggressive changes by Parsons. When you say taking 2 subs at the very beginning of this half here, we'll see if it pays dividends. Averbush over this one. Goes for goal! Save! LeBlanc was on the line. She had to be alert. An ambitious strike there from Averbush, and she almost gave the Spirit the lead.
She smacked that. What a great attempt. Great save.
And Averbush, of course, great at taking those long-distance strikes. Christine Nairn might have been the usual one to take those as well. Corner kick into the 6. Knocked down. Red Stars in disarray there. That's a shove. Doesn't give the call. Now it's cleared back into the back post, and it's in by Huster, and the Spirit have taken the 1-0 lead.
And that's a great finish. Unfortunately, I thought there was a definite foul on one of the Chicago players in the penalty box, but the Spirit took advantage of the ref saying play on, and open runner in the box, easy header, easy finish.
Yeah, really unmarked there was Huster on the back post. And Chicago early in this half has yielded a goal. Take a look at the replay here. Adams cut in. It was a good service. And yeah, just clearly unmarked back there. Rises and finish. And I'd have to say, from our view here, not to dwell on it, but to point it out, that looked to be a foul to me on the Spirit before that buildup.
Absolutely a foul.
As it stands, the Red Stars have to dig themselves out. Plenty of time to do it. Still 40 minutes left in this match. But it's all too a familiar position for the Red Stars. Thinking back to last season here at Benedictine. Yielding goals and having to claw their way back. They've been known to do it. They're a scrappy team. But this has to be exactly what the spirit envisioned as they started this half, and Parsons has to love what he's seen out of his team.
Absolutely. I mean, they came after it at the start of the half. They earned a set piece, earned a corner, and I think are really going after the game.
How will this young Red Stars team respond? That is going to be the key, not just in this game, but throughout the course of the season. Talented but young, this group. Good steal there. Now Hoy's in. Option is Motts. Waits for, now lobs it in, but it was just nicked away by Huster, the goal scorer. DiBernardo finds Quan on the overlap. Quan sends this one in, but it's blocked and out for a corner kick. So Chicago responding well here after giving up the goal.
Definitely responding well. This will be a good opportunity for them to get back in it.
DiBernardo and Kolupny. DiBernardo sends this low driving ball into the back post. It's hit the post, I believe, or it just went wide of it as Johnston rose for the header. Another opportunity for Chicago to get on the board, just went wanting. There it is. No, it just glanced wide. Oh, just flicked off the head there. Nearly there for Chicago, not quite. That's rolled out of play for a Spirit throw-in. 54th minute. Huster's goal gave the Spirit the 1-0 lead. Kolupny couldn't find DiBernardo, but will get the contact that she was looking for and draws the foul, so it will be a free kick. And the head referee wants to talk to Matheson, it looks like. Pulls her aside and gives her a final warning. No cards yet in this game for either side. Red Stars gather at the top of the 18. Punched in. Knocked away, but not clear. Trying to drive through a couple of Spirit players, but it's Crystal Dunn who works her way out of it. Over the head of Cuellar. And all the way back is DiBernardo, who took that set piece to turn it out for Chicago. But it gives up the Spirit throw.
Great recovery by DiBernardo. Johnston's up there as a target on their set pieces, and she did a great job to disrupt and break up that play.
If you want to play as a rookie, you have to be alert to your responsibilities both offensively and defensively. And DiBernardo was there. Kolupny, great win there. Thought she was fouled again. We play advantage. Sitch looked forward for Hoy over her head. But the Red Stars retain possession with this throw-in at midfield. Great spin move, a piece of skill there, and taken down on the far side.
And finally a card. And I think that was long overdue. A very physical Spirit team. A lot of fouls so far to not have thrown a yellow card.
So our first booking of the match there gives Chicago the free kick. Looking dangerous on most of their set pieces tonight, but can they deliver?
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. The referee is showing the yellow card to
DiBernardo's cross, not what she was looking for.
The card in the 56th minute of play.
Adams. Averbush. Krieger couldn't get to it. Motts was there. Tried to work against Krieger. Krieger wins that battle, ends up a throw. Crystal Dunn banked that off Quan. Krieger. Touched away by Sitch. Another throw in here for Washington on the near side. Jinhoy, lots of space now for DiBernardo in the middle of the park. Not a lot of options for her, though. Spirit back in numbers.
Great ball.
Yeah, great ball and a cool header there by Allie Krieger. Not troubled by that run by Jinhoy. That's off of Santa Catarina. Quan came back to save it from going out of play and finds Johnston. Johnston ran at Adams. Wide spaces for Winino. Johnston has continued her run forward, kept up with it. Couple of strong challenges there, but couldn't come out of there with possession. Presley just bombs this forward, and Cuellar started in an offside position.
And I think the longer this goes, where it's 1-0 and the Red Stars are down a goal, we'll start to see Johnston take off more like that and try to be a threat in attack.
That was probably the missing piece, I think, in the first half for Chicago. They got pieces forward. They got their attackers into dangerous areas, but it was really finding Johnston, who was such a big part of that win in week 1, getting forward as well. She hasn't been able to do much of that this half. See if that changes. DiBernardo. Leon. Again, couldn't keep possession. Sitch. Back for Winino. Slid that through. Kolupny just couldn't connect. Perez chips it clear. Good step in there to win that ball was Huster. Buoyed a little bit. A little more confidence out of Huster, stepping to win that ball after her goal. Gave the Spirit the lead. Spirit throw on the far side. And that's going to be a foul there. Averbush hitting the deck. Here's Adams. Averbush. Back to Adams. Averbush wide. Sierra between two. Got it taken away there by Leon. Tried to work a combination with Winino. Couldn't keep possession again, and that goes out of play. Quick restart here. Crystal Dunn. She gets fouled. And another set piece for the Spirit. We've played an hour at Benedictine University. Spirit lead 1-0.
The Red Stars just struggling a little bit to find their forwards' feet. You know, the forwards need to create some better angles and just be a little tougher holding possession for their team.
Red Stars looking at, I don't know if you would agree with this, Aaron, but just looking like they need a little bit more of a spark here. Where's that piece of creativity going to come from? Just not, as you said, able to keep possession. And you wonder if that'll influence Coach Dame's decision about who he wants to bring on as we enter the last 30 minutes of play. Johnston. She looks full of run. Continues to go forward as Matheson chases. That's going to go out for a Red Stars throw on the far side.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. As the clock has stopped, the official time of the match will be kept on the field by the match referee.
Presley went up for it with Hoy. Now that's come down. Leon sends a cross in back post. Motts was lurking, but Krieger was up to the challenge. Didn't totally get it clear, though, but it now will be dealt with by the Spirit back line. Good bit of hold-up play there by Cuellar, but the Red Stars are able to get it back, and a tough challenge there. Sierra slid in to take it away from Leon. Sitch tried to thread the needle, went past a couple of Red Stars before Huster got it and got it clear. Winino. Huster, challenged by Motts. Found Adams, and that's knocked out of play. Looks like this will be a substitute on the far side of the field. We'll see who's coming in here. Looks like it might be Bywaters.
And I think that's a good switch. Get some fresh legs into the lineup. She's a great dribbler. She's a great attacker, and they need a goal.
So Motts takes a seat, and as Bywaters has come on, they have switched sides again. So Leon has come back over to the left side to play that left wing role. Bywaters will take her position up on the right, which was opposite of where she was stationed last week against the Flash, where she played left wing. Leon more comfortable, I think, or usually plays on the left. So this is more comfortable for Leon, maybe. More typical of her style of play. Winino and Adams wrestle for it.
Crystal Dunn already has made a great impact for Washington coming onto the game. I think you can see why she was the #1 draft pick.
Certainly a player that the Red Stars do not want to see running with the ball at her feet at their back line. The question will be how much the Spirit can get it to her. Done a good job of it so far in this half. Red Stars, as they continue to push for that equalizing goal, will be more and more vulnerable to the counterattack. Averbush got a clearance on that. Kolupny wide. Bywaters gets past the first defender. Big challenge there, and Bywaters loses it out of play. Almost a foul there. Would have been right at the edge of the area.
Your Chicago Red Stars are cared for by the experts at Loyola Sport Medicine. Loyola Sport Medicine program delivers game-changing care to professional athletes and non-professional sports enthusiasts.
That one's out of play on the far side. Will be a Red Stars throw-in.
To learn more. Loyola Medicine, we also treat the human spirits.
Winino sends a deep cross in. No one there for the Red Stars. Ashlyn Harris will be able to restart comfortably. Huster to Averbush. Sierra. Presley. Presley, another long ball. Chested down by Johnston. Here's Leon, cuts inside. Working against Krieger. Sitch slid that through. Now wide. Bywaters cuts in on the left foot. Took a shot, blocked by Presley. Huster comes behind her to clear the threat. Good flick inside. Red Stars still looking in the attacking third. That ball's deflected down. Now a collision in the box, and it will be whistled against Chicago on the foul as Kolupny went in hard there against Huster.
And Leon there started that attack for the Red Stars, and I thought did a much better job in the middle third of dribbling central and finding someone in the wide space.
Into that stiff breeze, Harris plays the short ball, and then Presley played it deep. Johnston wants to run forward again. Matheson got the better of it, and then Johnson a strong challenge, and we'll see here what the referee's going to do, and it will be a yellow card to Johnston, maybe getting a little frustrated, the rookie. Slid in on Adams, pretty tough challenge there. And Adams is going to need a little bit of a medical attention.
I think Julie knows when she gets into that attack, she can't really lose possession there because it's they're pretty vulnerable at the back since she's their center back. So I think she a bit of a professional foul. She knew she was in there and she had to get a piece of something.
Adams doesn't look too terribly damaged by that. And now she's going to get to her feet. A little confusion about who's supposed to restart this, and now the Spirit figure it out. And Presley will come up to take this just inside her own half. Presley bombs this forward for Cuellar. Johnston wins the header again. Bywaters came back for it. Winino tried to find her again. She was able to keep it in, but then gave it away in a dangerous area as well. An early strike there, and LeBlanc watches that sail wide.
And again, I think the forwards for the Red Stars, they're just giving the ball away a little bit too often. They need to hold the ball, just do a better job keeping the ball for their team.
LeBlanc, shorter kick than you would expect in that wind, with the wind at her back, but found Johnston. Oh, misplay by Santa Catarina, and now this is chipped forward. Now Crystal Dunn has it at her feet. Crystal Dunn has passed Johnston. Reaching in there, though. Big stop for Kwan, who drew the foul, and now is in a heap.
Great recovery from Rachel Kwan there.
A really critical challenge there as Crystal Dunn may have had a chance to make this 2-0. And did he just issue a card there to Allie Krieger, who is pleading her case, or the team's case? No, he showed it to Crystal Dunn. It was a little late. I thought Krieger was standing right in front of the head referee there as he pulled out the card, arguing the case for her team. So it will go as a booking for Crystal Dunn for the takedown on Kwan. Bywaters trying to spark an attack. Kolupny long drive. Didn't really trouble Harris. Red Stars looking to get shots from distance now.
Great mom doing great Mother's Day when the Chicago Red Stars return to the village of Lisle-Benedictine University Sports Complex on Sunday, May 11th to take out
Kolupny. Bywaters. Bywaters has looked rather strong here. Now she's taken down there, stepping forward out of the back. And I think, yep.
I think the ref is really trying to get the game under control a little bit. There's a lot of fouls. It's really physical. He's thrown a lot of cards, and hopefully it'll calm down a little bit. We don't want anyone to get injured.
Yeah, that might have been for time wasting, though, as that was Matheson after the play. This is chipped in. Harris got that again. Now tries to start the counterattack. Perez. Dunn. Matheson tried to tuck that in. Sitch came out of there with it. Now Crystal Dunn almost had another break for the Spirit. 1-0 down for Sitch. Hoy was muscled off it by Huster. Dunn played it off the back of her teammate Matheson, who was forward making the run. Almost frantic play in the midfield there as finally Kolupny comes out of it. Oh, tons of space here on the near side for Leon if she can get there before this runs out. But the wind and the artificial surface will usher that out of play.
Good idea there. I thought Leon had nice wide positioning, and overall I think the forwards are staying pretty compact. So if Leon and Bywaters can receive the ball wide, I think that will really help them generate an attack.
Krieger in a little bit of trouble. Went back for Ashlyn Harris. High in the air. Matheson down with it. Good steal there by DiBernardo. Couldn't link with Kolupny. Sitch now wide for Bywaters. Bywaters had it tipped away from her. Will go out for a Red Stars throw-in on the far side. Whistle here for 2 balls on the pitch. Rory Dames much more vocal on the far side. You can hear him barking instructions to his team. That one caromed off a couple of Spirit players and will go out for another Red Stars corner kick, where they have looked dangerous at points during this evening.
Bywaters has really come in and made an impact and done a nice job for the Red Stars. We didn't get to see her last season, so it's fun to see her out here dribbling and trying to be dangerous.
Cross comes in towards the top of the box. One hit first time, but over the top. Another opportunity there by Leon, whose best chance for Chicago came from her. Just clipping the post in the first half, last minute of that first half. Red Stars trying to keep the pressure on, but lose out to a throw. Here comes another Red Star substitution here. Let's see who Coach Dames has decided to bring on.
Chicago Red Stars substitution. Entering the match, number 21, Haley Brock. Replacing number 2, Jen Hoy.
So it will be a forward-for-forward switch here. Haley Brock, University of Maryland product, comes in for Jen Hoy. Brock might be able to hold up play a little better, keep possession a little more. A little more strength than Hoy, maybe. Krieger, good ball into the path of Dunn, who steps over and now tries to run past Quan. Almost did it, but Quan's light touch is able to hold her at bay.
The Red Stars are really going to have to start getting after this, throwing some numbers forward, taking some more risk than they are. They've got 10 minutes to equalize this, so I think we'll start to see maybe Rory make some tactical changes. It looks like he's going to bring someone else on, maybe Keisha Morway at the back to maybe release Julie or change something for them so they can try to equalize.
Now here's a chance on the counter as DiBernardo goes wide in the path of Leon. Leon. As the crowd gets into it now. Back post run is Bywaters. Knocked away there. Cooley by Averbush. Sorry, that was Presley who knocked it away. And now Matheson comes back to win this for the Spirit. Matheson hounded all the way, and it will turn it back over to Chicago. And it will be the final sub that you mentioned. And it's going to be some shuffling here. And it looks like they're going to shuffle the back line. Bring on Morway at right back, move Winino to center back with Santa Catarina, and push Julie Johnston into the holding midfield role that Julian Sitch has vacated. So Sitch to the bench. What do you think of that move?
I think it's a great move. I mean, Sitch did a great job. I thought she connected, but that's not what they need right now. They need to be dangerous. They need to have their best goal-scoring potential on the field, and they need Julie Johnston closer to the goal.
Entering the match, number 14, Jody Taylor, replacing number 22, Bianca Sierra.
So Jody Taylor in the game now to replace Sierra as this ball's played in. Looking for options now. Leon cuts across. Has a chance here to look across, but it's blocked down. Still with it, though. Sends it across, and Presley, a key challenge there to keep it out of the goal mouth for the Spirit. Still they press on. Chicago in the last 8 minutes of this one. Looking for the equalizer. Still down 1-0. Cleared by Huster. Santa Catarina. Taken away, though, by Krieger. Krieger again from Averbush. 1-0 down for Johnston, who now has a chance to go forward. Great tackle there by Matheson. But now turned back over. And Leon guilty of the foul on the far side as she and Bywaters have again switched sides. Red Stars trying to throw whatever they can to find that attacking combination that can work and bring them back into this match. Kwan. Brock. That's offsides there. Side referee left his flag down. Johnson with another tough challenge.
The Red Stars would like to send a
Matheson.
to its newest presenting partner for the 2014 season.
That ball will just trickle out of play off the touch for a Spirit throw-in.
Spirit is going to try to kill this game a little bit, move a little slower, keep the ball in the corner, do whatever they can so that Chicago can't regain possession.
I'm sorry if there's a little confusion on our part here in the broadcast booth. We have the scoreboard here at the university is telling us we're in the 85th minute, while as you can see on our broadcast, it says we're only in the 79th minute. So we're going to try to figure out how much time is actually left in this game. And the head referee has stopped it again and is going to come over and talk to somebody. And he's going to talk to Johnston. I think at this point he's trying to micromanage this affair. Just needs to let him play a little bit. She's just trying to shake free of Averbush, who is marking her tightly. Winino plays this forward. Flicked forward. It's offsides. Santa Catarina got ahead to this first.
I'd like to see that again. I don't know if I saw that as being offside, but
lots of red jerseys in the mix there. This is a deep ball played in the path of Cuellar. Knocked away smartly, though, by Winino. Spirit will take their time with this throw-in. Every second precious for them as they watch them tick away. Closer and closer to 3 points on the road for Washington. Ones they may not have been expecting coming in, but have done well to earn. Winino drags that clear. Krieger. Pressured, and that looked like it hit out of play, and yes, it did. So the Red Stars will get a throw here in the attacking third of the field. Knotted on, almost into the path of Lyon by Haley Brock. Cleared out, and the wind blew that for a corner kick here. And now they've stopped the clock again. I don't think anyone knows how much time is left in this one. So we're just along for the ride here. Red Stars will take every second. So here the Red Stars with a corner kick. DiBernardo. Another dangerous ball. Flicked in and away. Leon set up for it and couldn't find good contact. Red Stars again, another dangerous ball by DiBernardo. But it just hasn't come to fruition for them off these corner kicks yet.
Great service by DiBernardo. You just want one of the Red Star players to just touch the ball and it goes in the net.
So yet another set piece here for the Red Stars. DiBernardo's services have been excellent on these tonight. Just need that flick. This one not as deep as she would have liked. Quan flicked this through. Now a half chance. And the volley. Looked like Santa Catarina was asking for a corner, but it will be a goal kick for the Spirit.
Red Stars definitely putting some pressure on, getting some corner kicks, some set pieces. Hopefully they can capitalize on one of those in the next couple minutes.
Some points are so important for this young team with their upcoming schedule. Still waiting for reinforcements. That's a good ball into space here. Bywater's trying to get there. Good communication at the back by Washington. Harris calling off her defender. Establishing order again. And then just giving it away. Morway for the throw. Morway again. Tap through by Johnston. This is Jody Taylor. Red Stars have come away with it now. And a quick shot there. Closer than it looked initially. As DiBernardo took the half chance.
The Red Stars staff requests the fans seated on the field leave the field using the gate at the south end of the grandstand that is the end furthest away from the scoreboard. Grandstand seat holders should exit at the north end and are not allowed on the track. Thank you for your cooperation and your support.
Harris back into play. Hard challenge there again by Johnson. She's got to be careful now. She's picking up a couple of fouls after she was booked earlier in this match as Adams, the victim of that challenge yet again.
And there's not a lot of time left in the game, so the Red Stars can't really afford to give Washington opportunities to time waste and finish off this game.
Santa Catarina out with it. Krieger will let this roll out of play. Averbush found Matheson with a good ball. Johnston. Back inside and just couldn't connect there. Perez tried to find the 1-2 back to the feet of Matheson. That throw in goes over the head of Brock. Johnston, a big header forward. Perez avoids Kolupny. Jody Taylor fell on the ball. No contact there, and that ends up at the feet of Johnston. Has Morway wide open if she can find her. Tried to tuck it in for Bywaters, but it's taken away. Done. Presley. Presley boots it forward.
Washington doing a pretty good job in these last couple minutes of really putting the Red Stars under pressure and not letting them get a lot of dangerous chances.
Presley in a fight for it. That will go out for a Red Stars throw in here. Morway drives it across. A challenge at the top of the box. Taylor was back there to make it difficult on the Red Stars, and now she's out with fresh legs. Winino trying to corral it. Proves difficult, and that's off of Huster out of play for a Haley Brock throw. Takes it quickly. Past Krieger. Brock almost got there and almost got through. Just couldn't quite drag it.
She got a bit unlucky there. That was a good effort to dribble into the box.
DiBernardo sends this in. Now turning as Bywaters couldn't find it and cleared safely away from danger by Veronica Perez. Red Stars starting to maybe find some cracks here. That'll be of little solace to them as they look for that game-tying goal. Good move on the far side there, cutting in. Trying to dump this off. Johnston at the top of the box. Tried to turn, couldn't. Got it blocked down. Appeals, and it will be a goal kick for the Washington Spirit as we head towards the end of this game.
I thought maybe Leon would try to have a crack at that one. She's inside the box. It's on her left. She had the left footer that hit the post.
Yeah, it's her favorite left foot, isn't it? And maybe looking to curl that. Someone's going to have to take a shot at some point. Looking for that perfect ball, maybe too much here. Kwan took a boot right to the quad, and she is down, rolling around. That hurts.
Hopefully it's just a big Charlie horse.
Right. See if we can get a replay up on that. Here it comes. Hopefully it's not something look like, well, I don't want to speculate. I don't know. It's in the knee area as well. So, and she was kind of spinning awkwardly. You hate to see this.
It's not looking great.
No, it's not, is it? Nope.
All right. Tough kid.
Yep, absolute. Tough as nails. Kwan coming over the side to be evaluated. She seems to be trying to walk this off, so hopefully it was just a Charlie horse. Sometimes that takes a little time. This ball's driven across. Someone hit the deck. There's Harris, punched it wide, but it looked like it might have been Julie Johnston who was tripped up by somebody, if not her own 2 feet there.
What a great ball.
Dangerous balls all night, but they just can't find the goal. And Kwan is waved back on here. So 4 minutes of additional time here. So
4 minutes is good news for the Red Stars.
We don't know much, but we know we are in stoppage time. 4 minutes to go in this one. This ball is driven across the back post. Harris punching away. Kwan there, just over the top. It hit the football goalpost. And the Spirit survive again. And Harris is down. Look at the replay here. Rising high, colliding with Harris was probably Johnson. And Kwan, a great chance just to try to loop that one in.
Another great chance for the Red Stars. Julie really challenging that goalkeeper. And bouncing around, and Rachel just popping it up a little too much.
Yeah, it was the right idea. Really her only option there. First touch after getting hit was Kwan and just couldn't find the net. Harris up. Red Stars down, not out. Looking for a piece of magic in Chicago. Brock's cross is early, couldn't find Bywaters. Krieger brings us down and now just clears it. It's out of play.
I like this pressure by Chicago.
Is it too little, too late? Kwan. Another Red Stars throw.
Got to try to keep this ball on the field, maybe throw it centrally.
Good flick through, just couldn't find. Good turn by DiBernardo, now turns back. Wide for Kwan. Marked by 2 now. Kwan's got to get this cross in. Kwan does find it. In the 6th, Johnston couldn't find the boot.
Rachel Kwan, you have to love it. She gets just smacked and has now created some of the best chances for the Red Stars in attack.
And that was a great win by Winino. DiBernardo kept that in. Winino drops it back for LeBlanc. Has to get to this in front of Perez. Cuellar still down in a heap. Red Stars play on. Flicked by Bywaters. Haley Brock is the one giving chase. And now Huster over there to save the day again for the Spirit. And now the referee will stop play as Cuellar is holding her calf and knee. Waits for the referee to get all the way over to her before.
My guess is she's probably fine.
Yeah, referee asked her. Now she's up. No problem. And walking fine now. So Red Stars throw. Matheson clears. Winino. High. Bywaters. Good back heel. Oh, just couldn't find its way through. Another key defensive play by the Spirit back line. And it serves to be the final play of the match. The Red Stars, valiant but vanquished on their home turf here at Benedictine University as they lose to the Washington Spirit 1-0 tonight. Aaron, your final thoughts about the Red Stars' performance tonight?
Well, I think they'll be disappointed not to have equalized and scored in the game, but certainly some wonderful bright spots moving forward for the team, and DiBernardo and Johnston, and Bywaters was really fun to watch. So I look forward to seeing her play some more minutes and a bigger role going forward. And they're 1-1, so I think just build on that and get ready for the next game.
And for the Washington Spirit, this has to be a very rewarding feeling coming off their long road trip with a big 3 points on the road.
Yeah, I think they were missing Nairn, and they had a lot of different players step up for them and got 3 massive points on this tough road stretch. Great response from their Seattle game.
So Washington moves to 6 points on this young season. The Red Stars, more opportunities to try to find some points in upcoming matches. We hope if you're in the Chicago area, you will come out to see us at Benedictine University. The upcoming Red Stars matches, they play a couple of midweek bouts. They first go on the road to face FC Kansas City Wednesday, April 30th. Then they're at Sky Blue FC on May 7th, which is a Wednesday. Then they're back here home against the Houston Dash, the expansion franchise, May 11th, home. Come out and watch us at Benedictine University. See if the Chicago Red Stars can come up with a better result. The 4-game stretch, 3 away games finishes May 15th, away to Boston. So we'll leave you now with Ben Solomon, with Aaron Chastain here at Benedictine University, where your final score on the night, Washington Spirit 1, your Chicago Red Stars 0. Have a great evening.
are 2 ways to manage a team. Coach Derek uses a clipboard, the old-fashioned way, and Coach Bob uses his smartphone and the Team Snap app. It's faster, way faster. When the practice location changes at the last minute, Coach Bob touches one button to notify the entire team by email or text. Coach Derek needs a team. The night before the game, Coach Bob confirms that he has enough players. At game time, Coach Derek discovers he doesn't have a goalie. And while Coach Bob's bank account is happy because he can collect the team fees online, Coach Derek spends hours searching through notes to track down who hasn't paid. Team Snap puts your team on the field, on the web, and on your phone. Whatever your game, whatever your group, Team Snap makes it easy. Sign up and try it for free today.
Proud presenting partner of the 2014 Chicago Red Stars, CJ Wilson Mazda has all-star service and breakaway selection with all new models, like the 2014 Mazda 6, starting only $19,999. Discounts off MSRP include all customer incentives, plus tax, title, license, and dock fees. Financing varies for qualified buyers. Offer ends April 30th, 2014. Test drive a Mazda today at CJ Wilson Mazda, located at the corner of LaGrange Road and Joliet Road in Countryside. Visit ZoomZoomNation.com for the largest selection of new and pre-owned Mazdas in Chicagoland. What do you drive?
There are 2 ways to manage a team. Coach Derek uses a clipboard, the old-fashioned way, and Coach Bob uses his smartphone and the Team Snap app. It's faster, way faster. When the practice location changes at the last minute,